Israel has an inherent right to defend itself.
We're going to continue to do what's necessary to ensure that Israel has the means to defend itself.
Israel's military has been at war with Hamas since October 7th. The Gaza Strip has been completely destroyed. Most of Hamas has been eliminated. Israeli fighter jets are loaded up with bombs every day. Israeli tanks and troops control the streets of Gaza. Thousands of Palestinians have lost their lives. Over 1 million are homeless. Israel too has suffered casualties, but the war continues. Israel won't stop until Hamas is completely destroyed. The Israeli war machine continues to mobilize and weaponize. And supporting Israel in its fight is its oldest ally, the United States. Israel is ranked 17 on the Global Firepower Index. It has close to 700,000 military personnel. Israel has over 1,300 tanks and almost 1,000 artillery systems. Israel has over 240 fighter jets and almost 50 attack helicopters. There are over 60 warships in Israel's navy. And the most crucial self-defense weapon for Israel is the Iron Dome, of which it has 10 batteries. Time and again, Israel has used its military muscle to defend against attacks, and years of fighting have proven Israel's firepower record. But Israel didn't come to dominate West Asia on its own. It was given a major boost by the United States and its Western allies. The United States is by far the biggest supplier of weapons to Israel. Washington accounts for 69% of Israel's imports of conventional arms. Next in line is Germany. Berlin accounts for 30% of Israel's imports. And the third biggest supplier is Italy, which barely accounts for 1% of Israel's imports. There's also the United Kingdom, but its weapon sales to Israel are so small that it barely deserves a mention. In 2016, the US and Israel signed their third consecutive defense pact. Under the deal, the US is obligated to send Israel weapons worth almost $4 billion each year for 10 years. Here are the weapons that America has armed Israel with. In small arms, the Israeli Defense Forces use the American-made M4 assault rifles. Israel also uses the American M109 self-propelled howitzer. The US sends the Interceptor Tamir missiles that are used in Israel's Iron Dome. In terms of air power, Israel was the first non-NATO member to get the stealthy F-35 jets. Israel also flies F-15 and F-16 fighter jets and the Apache attack helicopters, all of which are made by the US. Washington is also responsible for sending hundreds of thousands of bombs, artillery shells, and bullets to Israel. But the war in Gaza is testing years of friendship between the two allies. The Biden administration has decided to halt the delivery of almost 3,000 precision-guided bombs to Israel.
So we're going to continue to do what's necessary to ensure that Israel has the means to defend itself. But that said, we are currently reviewing some near-term security assistance shipments in the context of unfolding events in Rafah.
This is over the disagreements between US President Joe Biden and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Except, America can never refuse a good, juicy weapons deal. And within days, Biden made a U-turn and ordered the sale of more weapons to Israel worth $1 billion. A class act by Uncle Sam. Israel's military operation in Gaza has not been without international criticism. South Africa has already taken Israel to the International Criminal Court. And joining them in fiercely criticizing Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu are Brazil and Australia. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has compared Israel's actions in Gaza to the Holocaust. Meanwhile, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese says he doesn't support Israel and supports the formation of a Palestinian state.
We've said very clearly, and the Foreign Minister has said, that we do not support the intervention into Rafah, that we're concerned about the humanitarian impact. We want there to be a sustainable ceasefire. We want the hostages should be released immediately and unconditionally. That should occur. There is no role for Hamas to play in the future of Gaza, but we also very clearly support a two-state solution along with our like-minded countries.
Brazil and Australia took the path of morality in calling out Israel. That was until both the nations decided to buy Israeli weapons worth millions of dollars. Brazil wants to buy 36 truck-mounted self-propelled artillery systems worth $190 million from Israel. Australia wants to buy 129 infantry fighting vehicles from Israel in a deal worth $600 million. So why do nations want to buy weapons from Israel? The full extent of Israel's weapons exports remains unknown. Israel has not ratified the Arms Trade Treaty, which prohibits the sale of weapons that could be used in genocide and crimes against humanity. Israel is the 9th biggest weapons exporter in the world. The main destinations for Israel's weapons exports include the United States, the Philippines, India, Thailand, and Spain. And the fastest growing markets include El Salvador, Brazil, and Australia. So why are Israel's weapons in high demand, and what weapons are sold the most? The answer is simple. Israeli weapons are state-of-the-art, and they are battle-tested. And Israel also doesn't arm twist its buyers into towing a political line, unlike Western nations. The firms behind almost all of Israel's exports are Elbit Systems, the Israel Aerospace Industries, and Rafael Advanced Defense Systems. And the top weapons exports are for drones, missiles, rockets and air defense systems, and radar and electronic warfare equipment. It has taken Israel almost 75 years and dozens of wars to become a weapons-making giant. And as long as Israel delivers on its weapons, nations are willing to turn a blind eye to the war in Gaza. Because when it comes to weapons, everything is business as usual.
First Post reports from the world's second largest continent. Hello, I'm Alison Lagrange. A very warm welcome from Durban, South Africa. We get you the news and the newsmakers from Africa. South Africa goes to the polls on the 29th of May. I will track the election and bring you ground reports. Is it the end of the road for the African National Congress? And will former President Jacob Zuma stage a dramatic comeback? From elections to climate change to innovations and opportunities. As the world's attention shifts, we report from Africa, the heart of the global south. Join me every weekday live on First Post.